Around 1750 BCE, in the heart of Babylon, under Hammurabi's reign, you take your first breath. Your family already owes more than they can repay, and you are born into that reality. Your father labors from sunrise to sunset, yet the land he works is not his. The fields belong to the temple of Marduk, Babylon's chief god. The soil is revered, the canals are revered, the harvest is revered, and still, none of it is yours. From the moment you can walk, you understand one rule of this city. Nothing exists without an owner. Some people belong to the gods, some belong to the king, some belong to creditors. Most belong to all three at once. By age 5, you follow your father into the fields. You help pull weeds, you scare birds. You carry water from canals dug generations ago by men who also did not own the land beneath their feet. The barley seed your father plants does not belong to him either. It is issued by the temple storehouse, recorded by scribes and already counted as debt before it ever touches the soil. No one calls it interest. It is simply what is owed. As you turn 7, you recognize the scribes before you understand numbers. You hear them first sandals scraping, clay tablets knocking softly together. They carry reed styluses, sharpened tips pressed smooth by years of writing. Their hands are clean. Their tunics are unstained. They do not raise their voices. One scribe smooths wet clay, another presses symbols into it, wedges, lines, marks that mean barley, water, labor, time. When they finish, they roll a cylinder seal across the tablet, the mark of the temple, the mark of authority. You learn early that nothing written in clay ever forgets you. Gradually, you understand prayer. Not the poetry of it, but the desperation. Your family prays that the flood comes on time. Not too early, not too late. The canals must fill just enough to soften the soil. Too little water cracks the earth. Too much rots the roots. Your mother burns incense. Your father whispers to Adad, god of storms, and to Marduk, asking not for abundance, only balance. That year, the flood comes late. The river pulls back. The canals shrink. Water recedes like something being taken away. Your father walks the field every morning, kneeling to inspect barley shoots that never rise tall enough. The soil dries, splits, and hardens. Then the locusts arrive. By age 9, you see the sky darken. They come as a living cloud, wings humming, bodies clicking. In hours, the barley is gone. Stalks remain, chewed and broken. Weeks of labor erased in a day. The canal dries completely soon after. When the collectors arrive, they do not look surprised. They step into the field, examine the damage, and nod. One carries a tablet. Another recites the law from memory Hammurabi's Code, Law 117. If a man cannot repay his debt, he may give his son, his daughter, or his wife into service. They shall serve for 3 years. In the 4th year, they shall go free. You stand beside your father. You are the eldest. You already know what that means. Behind you, your 2 younger sisters cling to your mother's tunic. They are still small. One barely understands what is being said. The other understands enough to start crying. They are not considered. Not yet. The law lists options, but the choice is already made. A son is taken first. A wife is needed to keep the household alive. Daughters are preserved for marriage, for alliances, for survival. You feel it settle on you like weight. Your father does not argue. Arguing would be useless. The code is not a threat. It is a procedure. He nods once, slowly, as if agreeing to something he has known was coming for years. His shoulders sag. His hands tremble just slightly. He does not look at your sisters. He looks at the ground. You understand then that this is not punishment. It is math. 3 years of you is cheaper than losing the farm. Cheaper than losing all of them. The scribe presses your name into clay. The tablet is smooth. The seal is rolled. The decision hardens before your eyes. Your father lowers his head. By age 12, your name is transferred. A scribe presses it into clay. A witness seals it. You are no longer collateral in theory. You are collateral in practice. You are placed under the watch of a merchant, a man whose sharp eyes miss nothing. His name is Samar. He does not just trade goods, he trades power, influence, and sometimes people. From the first day, it is clear. Your life is now tied to his. He trades barley, wool, copper. He is connected to the temple and the palace. He owns permanent slaves, wardom, and several debt servants like you. As you reach the palace, you see men move through the space with purpose, but not all of them move the same way. The wardom are easy to identify. They wear rougher linen. Their heads stay lowered. They do not speak unless spoken to. They work closest to the storage rooms and the gates, always under watch. Their movements are practiced, resigned. This place is permanent for them. Then there are others, people like you, debt servants. You see it in their eyes first. They look up more often. They count days silently. They still measure time in years instead of lifetimes. They work hard, but not with the emptiness of the slaves. They have not been here forever. No one introduces you. There is no ceremony. Samur stands near the accounts table, speaking quietly with the scribe. He does not look at you when you are brought in. You are not merchandise. You are paperwork that has arrived late. You learn quickly what he controls. A foreman gestures where you are to sleep. A mat near the storage room, close enough to be watched, far enough to be ignored. You are told when to eat, when to work, when to sleep. No one explains the rules. You learn them by watching who gets corrected and who disappears into harder labor when they don't. As you stand there, taking it all in, one thought settles in your chest. You have not been brought somewhere chaotic. You have been brought somewhere efficient. And that makes it worse. Your sleeping mat is near the storage room. You eat after free workers, before slaves. You wear plain linen. You are expected to stay clean. Dirt reflects poorly on a merchant. Your labor fills your days. You sweep courtyards, carry sacks of grain, haul goods to market, grind barley until your arms burn, clean latrines, repair canal walls under the sun. You learn hierarchy through hunger. If you work well, your ration is full. If you make mistakes, it is reduced. Punishment is rarely loud. It is quiet, systematic, exhausting. By age 14, you understand the difference between servants and slaves. You learn what happens when work slows. It does not take rebellion. It does not take refusal. Sometimes it is only heat. Sometimes exhaustion. Sometimes a sack of barley tears and grain spills, and time is lost cleaning it. The overseer notices delays the way scribes notice errors quietly, precisely. He carries a staff, not a weapon, a tool. When he strikes you, it is not in anger. That is what unsettles you most. He does not shout. He does not curse. He steps forward, lifts the staff, and brings it down across your back or shoulders with practiced force. Once, then again. Enough to hurt. Enough to remind. Not enough to damage what belongs to the household. You understand then why no one intervenes. The law is clear. Hammurabi's Code protects property, houses, fields, tools, livestock. It protects slaves explicitly. It protects debt servants indirectly, not as people but as assets. Injury that reduces your value is punishable. Pain that improves efficiency is not. You are not being beaten as a man. You are being corrected as an object. Afterward, you are expected to return to work. No record is made, no tablet is pressed, there is nothing to document, the law has not been broken. As the days pass, you begin to notice the difference between yourself and the wardom more clearly. Slaves are struck less often, not because they are treated better, but because they are permanent. Their bodies must last. Damage to them is loss. You are temporary. That makes you cheaper. Debt servants like you are worked harder, pushed faster, corrected more often. You still count years. The slaves count nothing. They have already been counted. You realize something quietly, without anyone explaining it to you. A slave belongs to the house forever. You belong to it until you break or expire from the ledger. And the law stands on the master's side in both cases. Slaves are property forever. Debt servants are property with an expiration date. That makes you more dangerous. You still have hope. The household reminds you daily that hope is fragile. You notice the Saram's wife watching you. At first, it is only looks. Tasks assigned when others are gone. Corrections delivered too closely. A hand on your shoulder, then your neck, then your face. You learn that resistance is not expected and not protected. The law regulates ownership. It does not regulate what happens inside a house. You tell no one. There is nothing to tell. By age 16, you are marched to a canal worksite for a mistake you did not commit. Someone misplaced inventory. You are convenient. You spend weeks knee-deep in mud, hauling bricks, repairing embankments. Overseers shout. Rations are thin. Sun burns your skin. Your body learns endurance. You begin to pray to Shamash, god of justice. He sees everything. Everyone says so. You wait for him to see you. At the end of your 3rd year, scribes arrive again. They inspect tablets. They count days. A clerk presses a new tablet and signs your release. He sighs not from pity, but from routine. The clay is baked. You are free. Your 3 years of trials ended. By age 18, your 3-year term ends. You are released. You walk home, each step heavy with exhaustion, but lighter than before. The streets of Babylon feel quieter somehow, though the air smells of dust, mud, and distant smoke. Your feet recognize every cobblestone, every narrow alley, every curve of the canal. You are returning not just to a place, but to everything you hoped had not changed. When you arrive at your family home, it looks the same. The walls are cracked in the corners, the roof patched with reed and mud, but it still stands. You can see your mother in the courtyard, bent over some chores, her hands still rough from the work she does alone while your father is away. Your 2 younger sisters run toward you, their voices rising in excitement, clinging to your legs, tugging at your arms. They are smaller, yes, but somehow taller in your eyes. They are alive, untouched by your absence. Your father is standing a few steps away, his shoulders sagging under a load you cannot lift with your eyes alone. His face is lined deeper, though he smiles faintly when he sees you. He embraces you briefly. No words, no apology. There is nothing to apologize for. The law has already decided, and he knows there is nothing more he could have done. Endure, he says, finally, as he lets go. Survive until the next remission. You nod. You believe him. You want to. By night, after your sisters have fallen asleep, your father pulls you aside. His hands shake slightly as he recounts what happened while you were away. The scribes came again, inspecting fields and canals. They counted your barley. They measured the canals. They compared it to the obligations etched into clay. And once again, your family falls short. The debt is renewed. You feel a hollowing in your chest, a sickness that does not come from hunger or labor, but from inevitability. Your freedom was only temporary. Your home for the time you were gone has not been restored. It exists only as a place you can return to, but never belong to. A roof and walls, but not respite. The fields are still owed to someone else. The tools are still not yours. The barley you once tended is not yours. Your father looks at you and sighs. This is the freedom decree, he says quietly. The law allows it. It gives you a home, a place to sleep, a family to return to. But deep down, you know, you have learned this too well. It is not home, not really. It is some policies in clay, rules that preserve the property of others, obligations that are never fully yours. It is survival, not living. Work, not freedom. Shelter, not ownership. You glance around at your mother, at your sisters, at the walls and the empty fields. You know that soon, almost inevitably, you will have to go back. Not for punishment, not for disobedience, but because the law protects property, not people. And you, though alive, belong to that system. That night, you lie awake, feeling the weight of your body, your hands, your name etched into clay again and again, and you realize freedom in Babylon is never fully yours. Now, as you step back into Saram's household, the truth hits instantly. Nothing remains as it once was. Your freedom was fleeting, and the home you returned to offered only a fragile illusion of safety. Your daily labor has doubled. Tasks that once took hours now consume the entire day. You carry heavier sacks of barley, grind more grain, repair longer stretches of canal walls, and sweep courtyards until your arms burn and your back cries. The environment is harsh. The sun is relentless. The floors slippery with spilled grain. The air thick with dust and the sharp scent of copper. Workspaces are crowded. You share narrow halls with other debt servants. with permanent slaves moving silently under the overseer's gaze. There is no respite, no privacy, no pause. Every movement is watched, every pause punished. When night comes, it offers little relief. You sleep by the fireplace, the only warmth in a cold stone room. Smoke stings your eyes, and the soot leaves your skin caked and blackened. Your blisters throb from the day's toil. Your muscles ache. Your body is a map of your punishment, each mark a testament to survival. One evening, as you carry water toward the storage room, you murmur a few words to another debt servant, sharing quiet hopes or the weight of complaints. There is no laughter, no raised voices. Your words are so soft. You convince yourself they vanish into the air. Yet silence is an illusion. Eyes are always watching. The merchant's wife notices. Her gaze is sharp, her movements swift, almost invisible. Perhaps Sarum himself or the overseer lurks in a shadowed corner, observing. They move toward you. The staff strikes with sudden precision, first across your back, then again, then snapping across your arms. Pain hits in measured bursts. No shouting, no curses, only a cold, exact enforcement. It is ritual, not anger. A reminder that every motion, every breath, every hesitation belongs to the household. You taste blood, sweat, and dust in your mouth. But you return to work immediately. There is no argument. There is no appeal. There is no justice. Only survival. Only obedience. Only the knowledge that talking, looking, or hesitating carries consequences heavier than the load you already bear. By now, every sound, every glance, every gesture is measured. You know which footsteps bring punishment. You know which eyes judge you. You know which rooms hide safety and which conceal threats. Your body becomes a map of pain and endurance, each mark a tally in the ledger of someone else's property. And still, you endure. By the time you turn 19, the days blend together. The work is relentless, unchanging. Your voice, once capable of protest or even a quiet joke with another servant, has grown quieter. You speak only when spoken to. Words feel heavy, as if carrying them will break something already fragile inside you. Your body has begun to betray you. Your shoulders slump, your arms shake from repetitive labor, your back aches in a way that never fully leaves. Blisters form and reopen, your joints stiffen, and every step, every lift, every haul reminds you that you are weaker than before, and yet the work demands more than ever. Each day, it feels as though the sun itself presses down harder on your skin, turning it raw and blistered. And yet, there is no pause, no mercy, no moment of rest that is truly yours. You move like a shadow through the courtyards, through the storage rooms, through the mud of the canals. Your eyes scan for overseers, for Bolin, for his wife, for anyone who might notice and punish the slightest sign of weakness. Your hands tremble from fatigue, but you do not stop. You cannot. One morning, as you haul sacks of emmer across the courtyard, a bell tolls from the peak of the step tower. Its sound pierces the city, deep and commanding, vibrating through stone, stirring dust, filling the air with authority. Heads lift instinctively. You freeze mid-step, every muscle burning, your palms slick with sweat. From the temple below, voices rise, carrying clearly across rooftops and narrow streets. Perhaps it is the king himself, or his heralds speaking in ritual tones. Every word is deliberate, heavy with ceremony, impossible to ignore. Freedom is declared. The debts of the people are absolved. By the will of the gods and the decree of King Hammurabi, your service is ended. The words strike you like a thunderbolt. For a moment, you cannot breathe. You look around and see others in the streets cheering, dancing, breaking clay tablets in celebration. Farmers shout with relief. Temple courtyards are filled with incense smoke and the hum of joyous voices. You want to feel the same. You want the freedom to be pure, to be the homecoming you imagined. But your body aches too much. Your back burns. Your hands are blistered. Your muscles are stiff and unhealed from years of labor. And deep down, you know this. This freedom is not yours entirely. It is a reprieve, a temporary pause, sanctioned by kings and gods, not by fairness. Still, you walk to the clerk with the release tablet. He signs it with a sigh, as though he has done this 100 times before. His eyes meet yours briefly. No pity, no joy, only the weight of procedure. The seal is rolled. Your name is freed from the ledger of Bolan's household. You step outside. The air feels lighter for a moment. The sun shines differently. The city hums with celebration. And yet, you know the truth. Freedom in Babylon is never complete. It is measured, temporary, bound by laws that protect property, not people. Decrees that grant shelter but not ownership, and mercy that is selective. You are free in name, free to return to your family, free to breathe without overseers' eyes on your back, free to walk home through the streets you once feared. But the memory of the staff, of blisters, of sleepless nights by the fireplace, of Bolan's wife's gaze, and of the ledger that counted you as nothing more than labor, all of it remains, etched into your body and mind. And as you walk, finally, toward the familiar courtyard of your home, you understand fully. Freedom is not a place, not a reward, not a right. It is a temporary mercy, a pause in a system designed to remind you that in Babylon, you, like everyone else, belong first to gods, kings, creditors, and laws, and only then to yourself. You have turned 20 when you return home. The courtyard is familiar, yet changed. Your father has managed to gather some barley. The fields, though still fragile, promise sustenance. You breathe deeply, tasting the faint sweetness of relief, the quiet hope of stability. The years slip by quietly, carrying your family along with them. Your father succumbs first, his body spent from decades of labor and worry. Your mother soon follows, her hands forever marked by work that never yielded ease or rest. One by one, your sisters are wed to distant households, their laughter and chatter now little more than lingering echoes across the courtyard. The house stands still, silent and hollow in its corners, yet despite everything, it remains yours. As you reach your mid-20s, you marry. You build a life. Your wife is beautiful, her hands gentle, her laughter soft in the mornings. You have a son, and for a time, joy blossoms quietly in the spaces once filled with sorrow. You work hard, harder than ever before, because now the labor is yours, and your debts are gone. The scribes visit occasionally, their hands empty, their records blank. The clay tablets hold nothing against your name. For a while you feel free, truly free. The air tastes different. Your hands are calloused, yes, but they belong to you. Your back aches, yes, but it carries your own burdens. Your son plays in the courtyard. Your wife hums while grinding grain. You watch them, and for a moment, it seems that the cycle has been broken. But deep inside, a shadow lingers. You know the truth. You know the gods, the kings, the scribes, and the laws that govern Babylon are fickle. You know that a single bad season, a dry canal, a swarm of locusts could erase everything. And if it does, your son, too, may face the same life you endured. The same harsh overseers, the same staff, the same relentless work, the same selective mercy. You kneel by your fields at night, tracing the furrows with calloused fingers. You pray to the gods, to the king, to the winds and the rain. You hope your labor has been enough. You hope your choices have shielded your family. You hope the freedom you earned so painfully will last longer than a proclamation, longer than a tablet pressed into clay. And yet, you know, freedom in Babylon is fragile. It is temporary. It is measured. It is always, in some way, borrowed from the system that will claim it back in a season, a flood, a drought, or a debt. You have learned, through blisters, strikes, sleepless nights, and endless toil, that survival is hard and safety is never guaranteed. You look at your son sleeping beside you, and a chill runs through your spine. One day, he may stand where you stood. One day, he may hear the bell from the ziggurat, hear the word freedom, and yet know in his bones that the word is not entirely his own. And so you continue, working your fields, tending your home, loving your family, carrying the memory of debt, labor, and endurance, knowing that in Babylon, the past never truly leaves, and the future is always measured in clay, in grain, in laws written to protect property, not people.